Alrighty, we are live. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Formula Fridays as we are just loading into the Belgian Grand Prix. And hello and welcome. I hope you're excited for the race as much as I am. And I'm excited to kick off the action with our one-shot qualifying. For those who aren't aware by now, of course, I'm your host here in the commentator's booth, Fallen Monkeys, joined once again this evening by my co-commentator, partner in crime in the commentator's booth, so to say, ISRL Esports. Esports, just gonna check in as I always do. Are you here with us, ready for this racing action we've got ahead of us?
100 trillion%.
Perfect. Happy to hear that, as we're just awaiting for night to connect, load into the one-shot qualifying, and we can kick things off once we get the setups rolling, once we get the tire strategy going. Now, for those who are new, just to give a little bit of a rundown as we await to kick things off, it is going to be one-shot qualifying, followed by a 25% race, and after that, it's not over yet, as we're going to have a reverse grid 5-lap sprint, and already some drivers who were very quick to get their setups up and running and get ready for the race, as it appears Josh 2, Chill Mo, they're looking to waste no time whatsoever to get things going, but no timer just yet to get it going, to kick things off. So maybe just waiting for all the drivers to connect. I'm really not too sure how all of that plays out, but we will see. Nope, we are jumping right into it, and let's run on board with.
Abrupt.
Yeah, very quickly. I was waiting for that timer to give me the cue, but not the case here. As I'm on board with Josh 2, as he's going to take us through a lap of Spa, around turn 1, up Eau Rouge, into Radion, and then down the Kemmel straight once, of course, we get there right about now, I believe. Carter having a moment very early on. I think potentially an early victim of Eau Rouge for Carter, and definitely something you might want to iron out before we start the race here. But now as Josh 2 is taking us through a lap, Asunik, let us know, what are some things that we should be looking out for here in this Formula Fridays here at the circuit?
Well, track limits, obviously. This track, you want to, given the length, the nature, the undulation of the circuit itself, this track is fast. This track is fast. The lowest speeds you go through are in the bus stop chicane. I guess they call it the bus stop. And, where else? Down there into turn 1, you're only 2 corners with the low speeds. Other than that, you are on the limit here, and as you can see with Dark and Carter, you can be caught out just like that. So it's really one of those older circuits the drivers love, so we love seeing it too as commentators. So
definitely, the drivers love it, we love it, and I do have to 100% agree with you on those track limits. They can definitely be killer, and not just in the form of invalidating the lap. As you mentioned, we saw it with Carter, we'll see it with Dark, and I'm sure it won't be the first time we'll see it, or the last time we'll see it, I should say, of drivers getting bitten and maybe crashing out due to these track limits. As we finished the one-shot qualifying lap, and I noticed a lot of disqualifications here.
Yo.
My, oh my. Only 5 drivers getting a lap time in. And look at that, it's Gernman who's going to be leading the way on race 1 with his 141.8, with Knight getting the front row of the grid right alongside him. Josh 2 in 3rd, Aizen in 4th, Joseph Cozy in 5th, with the slowest of the times that were set. Captain Blade in 6th, Sophion in 7th, Izat Kush in 8th, Chilmo in 9th, Hartman rounding out the top 10 with Dark and Carter starting in positions 11 and 12 at the back of the grid. But it's we've got a lot of unknowns here, given positions 6 through 12 don't have a time on the board, so we have no idea how fast they actually were in their qualifying and what kind of pace they're going to have to show here around Spa-Francorchamps, but we will find out in just a few moments once we are ready to kick off the race, once the drivers get their strategies going. And correct me if I'm wrong, Asunik, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a one-stop, soft to mediums, pretty straightforward here for race 1. I mean, Maybe a soft to hards if somebody wants to get very daring and very exciting, but I
Medium
really.
soft or hard soft, it just really depends on your strategy.
Oh yeah, but I think here for the 25%er, I don't think we'll see the hard tires come out too
What do we
much.
got? 11 laps here, correct? Yeah, correct. 11
Yes,
laps.
yes, 11 laps. So I'm thinking the softs could probably go 4, 5 laps, and then hop on those mediums to go to the end, 6 to 7 laps, easy peasy, lemon squeezy here for this 25% race. But of course, we've seen the safety car come out here in Formula Friday, so that could, in theory, throw strategy all over on its head. Maybe some drivers take that early pit stop if it is the case. We know that turn 1 and going up Eau Rouge during this first lap when everybody is clumped up together can be very tricky. But we'll see how it all plays out here as the grid is ready. We are ready, and I hope you're all ready at home as we're up to 4 lights, 5 red lights. And we're off to start Formula Fridays as Gernman gets a decent start, and it looks as though that's Josh too trying to get a start right behind Gernman there. And it looks as though they're battling for positions through turn 1. I have no idea who's in what car, given they're all in their multiplayer cars, but I'm already seeing some battling for position. Captain Blade overtaking Aizen as they're coming up Eau Rouge, and that's Izat Kush trying to make a move on the outside of Aizen. Gets it done as they're barreling down to the Kemmel straight. Izat up into 5th, Aizen down in 6th, but still putting the pressure, and crucially being pressured by Joseph Cozy right behind as well in that ISRL livery car that Joseph Cozy has been running. Oh no! Who was that?
God.
That's Captain Blade and Izat Kush having a moment with each other, it looked like, as they both fell way down the order, and it seems to be a bit of a reoccurring theme for Izat Kush as...
I was able to take a peek back at the stream because, I mean, in the moment you weren't able to see it, but it looked like Captain Blade just lost the car and Izat was just a victim of circumstances. Wrong place, wrong time, and got collected in the melee.
Oh, I see. I had no idea. Completely missed it in the just in the heat of the moment of what happened. I just saw 2 cars spinning and kind of jumped to the worst there. Maybe trying to fabricate these storylines in Formula Fridays. But really unfortunate for Captain Blade as he's going to have a long trek, and Izat Kush once again this week getting caught up in these incidents down at the back of the grid, and he himself is going to have a bit of a long way to make it back to the pits. But here we see Carter and Hartman battling it out. Oh no, Hartman gets a little bit of a half spin, clipping the rear tire of Carter with his front wing, and he loses out on 2 positions to Chill Mo and Dark. As right in that bus stop chicane, elsewhere on the grid, Sophion getting ahead of Joseph Cozy to go up into 5th. Joseph Cozy falling down into 6th now. But on those soft tires, I think Cozy is going to be making a push, trying to get that position right back, especially with DRS down the Kemmel straight, probably where the drivers and the cars are going to be at their quickest because you're carrying a lot of speed coming up Eau Rouge, but just not enough to get the move done as Sophion does such a good job defending down that straight and protecting that inside line. And now that I've actually got a few moments, let's put the track map up so I can get an idea of where everybody is on track in perspective to one another. Other battles on track, we've got Knight and Josh putting some... Knight putting some pressure on Josh too here for second. It is a podium battle, so I think they might be staying a little bit more cautious. What was that?
The penalties are already rolling in. We saw Chilmo take a 3-second time penalty on lap 1. Cozy getting a 3-second penalty on lap 2. Captain Blade had to serve his 5-second penalty for a collision with Izat. I don't think that was... it's one of those game glitches. He had nowhere to go. I mean, he was just a product of spinning, and that's... really bites for him, but upwards and onwards, I guess.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like once you're spinning the car, especially on this track, you're kind of just a passenger, and you're hoping for the best. But unfortunately, I wouldn't say Captain Blade got the worst, but definitely not the best either. Now, I jumped on board with Dark. We were seeing Chill Mo struggling a little bit through Sector 3, keeping the car on track, and even there, clipping a lot of grass coming into these corners, so that's going to be a lot of time lost for Mo, I would think, compared to Dark, but Dark just unable to capitalize to the full extent, and now being pressured by Hartman as they're coming up Eau Rouge, but Hartman almost losing the car there as he takes a lot of curb up the hill, but thankfully,
Mo,
my goodness, this is a little bit of a dance between both these drivers going down the Kemmel Straight. Some aggressive defending by Mo, defending down the inside, but able to keep that position, that P8, but it seems as though it might only be a matter of time before Dark gets the move done, especially once those soft tires really start to wear out for Mo, considering Dark is on the mediums, which can go a little bit longer. Almost saw the move happen there, but Dark had a little bit of a tank slapper and has to settle back into 9th, regroup, and here we are, 3rd lap in, 3rd penalty, and a 2-for-1 this time as Aizen goes and takes one immediately after Josh took one. And there's another one. So
you're gonna sound like DJ Khaled here in a minute, man.
No kidding.
Yeah, the thing about this track is once the rear end steps out, it's you almost just wanna. Like Mo just kind of getting in Dark's way. He's just planted the car in a spot where Dark has an opportunity, but he has to continually let off the gas. He's half throttle down the back straight here.
Yeah, and I
cannot get the move done, but maybe. There it is.
Goodness. Mo having a tank slapper there, and I feel like Dark, I was just about to say that. I think it might only be a matter of time before.
That's a door for Hartman.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just noticed that. I didn't think Dark had such an effect on the exit of that corner. It almost looked as though Dark just kind of slowed down a little bit. Maybe give Hartman a chance to battle it out and let Hartman do all the battling and let himself just lurk in the back and let the move done. But Hartman wastes absolutely no time getting past Mo, and look at this! On board with Dark as he gets the move done. But
oh my god! I thought it was over right there. Oh my god! I had a bit of a moment. I was riding on board with Hartman, and I was using the joystick to look back, and I just ooh-wee.
Well, you saw it on stream as I quickly switched over to the spectator cam so we could get a better view of all 3 cars, but it gave me that angle coming into the corner after the Kemmel Straight, so I figured, okay, well, I don't want to wait for them, switch back to the onboard on Dark just to nearly watch this incident happen right in front of our very eyes. But thankfully for Dark, it's just a little bit of time lost as he's going to have to go for that move all over again once he does close up that time and still sees that car of Chill Mo.
Oh my god.
And, yep, another one.
It's
Penalties.
9 seconds for Mo on lap 4.
My goodness.
It's, well,
definitely.
Here's the thing, man. Mo's got an opportunity here to just get it all out of his system before Sunday morning, you know, when the big race happens, the one that everybody looks forward to, your specific division. This one's this one's for fun, this one's for practice. So just get it all out, guys, because you're gonna need to not do that on Sunday morning. That's for sure.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Great time to iron out those penalties, iron out what you can and can't do with the track limits, and get all that worked out before Sunday. Or, I mean, of course, if you're a Tier 3 or Division 3 driver, keep doing what you're doing, take all those penalties, and maybe let me have a few positions on Sunday.
Yeah,
but I'll leave the biased commentary at that, and we'll let the driving on track do the talking.
If I have a race the way I had a practice session here, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the end.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure you'll make it to the end. Maybe drop a few positions, but with the way these penalties are being handed out, with the way the in-game marshals are giving away these penalties, I mean, they're practically just handing them off to everyone. You get a penalty, you get a penalty, you get a track limits penalty. Why don't you take a track limits penalty? Oh, thanks for popping by. Here's a track limits penalty for you. And
let's talk about the people that don't have any so far. It's Dark, Izat, Captain Blade, who unfortunately had another spin and had to pit for wing damage. He is in danger of actually going a lap down on lap 5. And obviously Gernman, Sophion, and actually Carter Carter's keeping it clean, making a move on Aizen.
Yeah, into the bus stop chicane, but a little bit short-lived as that's Aizen going into the pits, getting those medium tires on. So now Carter might have to switch, excuse me, to a little bit more of a defending. Oh my goodness, come on, Supper. Stick with me on this, but Carter doing a little bit of needing to switch over to a defending job as he's now got Joseph Cozy in his rearview mirrors, less than a second behind, and that gap is definitely going to close up with the help of DRS down this long straight. As through all of that, Isaac Kush setting a fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 144.1. So he's flying after that wing damage, but I'll be honest, I didn't really expect anything less from him. A little bit further behind, here comes Josh too on Chill Mo, gets that move done right into the corner after the Camel Straight. I really don't know the corner numbers, so pardon me for all of that. Gonna have to get a little bit of research done before Sunday. Iron out those corner numbers myself for the comms. And
what a save by Knight! Oh my God, he the no-name corner heading in there behind Mo, and obviously the dirty air. Just taking the air off the front end of that car. He was all sorts of sideways and managed to keep that. Listen, I'm just gonna go ahead and save the clip for our man right there, because that was noteworthy.
Please do. I'm sure he'd love to see it. I didn't quite hear anything from the pit wall, if I'm being honest, but maybe still in awe that he saved that. If I'm being honest, but we completely missed it here on the stream, unfortunately for everybody watching at home. But I'm sure we'll be able to get an eye on that after the race, because I want to see how wicked that save was. But Knight on your screen right now, coming around the bus stop, crossing the line, gaining a few positions in the process, back up into third now. And crucially, Josh, too, has caught right back up to Gernman, who's kind of been leading this race from start to finish here in his multiplayer car that looks a little bit fantasy on a theme variation of Braun GP, I would say. Leading the way in the number 25, but I think Josh is starting to close up ever so slightly on Gernman. And let's take a look. Has Gernman taken a pit stop yet? Yes, he has taken a pit stop. So everybody has...
I expect Josh to be quicker on here. He was our season 1 winner here at Spa, so he's no stranger when it comes to getting the job done here. But crucially, he does have that 3-second time penalty to deal with.
Yeah, so he's going to have to get the overtake done and grow that 3-second gap if he wants to take the victory here in the first race, which can still be a tough order to ask for. But it's lap 7 out of 11, so we do still have a few laps to go here in this race, and Spa is a very long lap at that. But crucially, it looks as though Gernman's growing his gap to Josh too, as this lap is playing out, up to 2 seconds now compared to the 1.7 that it was about a sector ago. So Gernman showing a lot of pace around this circuit and looking in for a decent result, which might be short-lived given he's had to serve that qualifying ban after the incidents in the way back in Austria, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, unfortunately he's not in our server anymore to let him know. So but you know who I'm really impressed with thus far in this race is, I gotta say, it's Aizen. Aizen is keeping pace with the guys from the top division. He's been battling with Carter all race, and these guys are Division 3 and Division 1. They're set, like, Aizen is absolutely on it. So any of the Division 3 guys watching this, watch out for this guy this weekend, because he is absolutely on it.
Oh, I know I will be watching out for Aizen very carefully in the Division 3 race, keeping an eye out on his pace. He did show a lot of it in practice as well, when we were in that practice session earlier this week, and I think riding the result after Baku, Aizen, especially after his first race in Division 3, he's got a little bit of a fire brewing in him, looking for that good result. He's strung a lot of good races together, And I mean, it's showing the work he's putting in, the practice he's putting in, and sticking right with these Division 1 drivers here. And I'm honestly a little bit, I'm excited but equally worried to see what Aizen can do on Sunday in the Division 3 race. Given the
that result on Sunday absolutely shot him up the standings too. So he's riding that high from Baku, and I mean, if you can go into Baku and just weather the storm and come out with a podium, that's enough to really boost your confidence in any driver. I don't care if you're in the top division or the lowest division. A Baku podium is nothing to snuff at. So.
Oh no, definitely nothing to snuff at all. I do have to agree with you on that. And like you said, he's riding that high, riding that momentum, and I think he's looking for another good result here come Sunday.
Izat is flying.
Yeah, we've been watching Izat for the last lap or so. He's up into 7th. Now catching up to Aizen, and this is where I think Aizen's going to get a really true test, or maybe a little bit of brought back down to earth, I guess you could say, as being challenged by one of the more quicker Tier 1 Division 1 drivers that we have. Izat always near the top of the leaderboards in Division 1, and look how quickly Izat has closed up to Aizen from 1 second back down to half a second within a span of basically half a sector, and still closing. And it's been very neat watching Izat just kind of put on a bit of a driving clinic here in race 1 after getting caught up with that incident. It's been a solid recovery drive, and it's looking to end up with a pretty decent result, I would say. Maybe a 6th place, maybe even a 5th place if he's able to close that gap up to Carter. Of course, if he's able to get past Aizen, that is here in the next few laps. And
Aizen I think got a bit of grass there.
Yeah, you saw that as well. I saw the dirt spit up. Thankfully, Aizen was able to keep it steady, keep it on track. But here comes the pink bullet of Izat Kush flowing down the Blanchemont, I think is what it's called, approaching the bus stop, not making a lunge into the bus stop, as I wouldn't have really expected him to do so. But maybe down up into Eau Rouge, down the Kemmel Street to start lap 10, we might see an overtake. Unless he does it here on turn 1, going down the inside is Izat Kush. They're going side by side, and this might need to be settled. Nope, Izat taking a little bit of taking a step back, gonna make sure they get up through Eau Rouge without any issues, and use the DRS to his advantage, so he doesn't have to use too much ERS to get this overtake done. But here we go down the inside, well before the corner here. As you're seeing, it is Izat Kush up into 6th, Aizen down into 7th, and Izat Kush continues his charge up the grid.
Yeah, Captain Blade is not having the time of his life, I can tell you that. But again, got wing damage, and fortunately there goes the leader by.
Oh, that's not what you want to have happen for Captain Blade. Gonna have to put a little bit of work in here for Sunday, I think. But as mentioned, when I was racing here on Formula Fridays, I was the king of being at the back of the order, ironing out the kinks and tweaks before Sunday. So I think that's what Captain Blade's looking to do, and just get a little bit of track time, get some decent practice in here on Formula Fridays. But it is a tough way around the circuit. You can see the struggles that car is having with that broken wing. But I think knowing he's a lap down, knowing this is going to be his final lap, opting to stay out on track and just tough it out, and could be a decent start for the second race for him, given that it is a little bit of a consolation that he can potentially still get that pole position start. But here on the final lap, we've got potentially a battle for the podium, as Knight and Sophion are battling it out. Here comes Sophion down the inside, Knight squeezing, leaving just enough room, and there's Captain Doe. No! Sophion with a half spin, clipping it looked like as though Sophion clipped the curb on the inside.
Knight, it was one of those incidents where room wasn't necessarily given, and I don't.
I
Knight
see.
with
I
six
had the.
seconds fighting Sophion. I don't know about that.
I'll trust your judgment on that, Asunik. Honestly, I was on the onboard with Sophion and just kind of caught the spin when it happened. I know Knight was squeezing Sophion a little bit, giving him at least down the straight just enough room on circuit to get the overtake done, but that can end up in a very tricky situation for sure once you get into that corner.
I mean, the ghost car of Captain Blade probably didn't help that at all. I mean, you got two dudes fighting for third, and there's a lap car planted in front of them. It's got to be distracting, to say the least.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was distracting for myself, and I was,
Yes.
I mean, I was just here watching the race happen. But through all of that, it is Kernman who crosses the line to take the victory here on race 1. Josh 2 coming in second, and it is Knight currently holding on to that P3. But let's see, Carter loses it, or Carter loses it. Carter gets that podium position from Knight off of penalties, so a solid drive from Carter to get that podium. Sophion in 5th, but the questions do remain of what could have been, as could have been a podium on this first race for Sophion. Izat Kush in 6th, Dark in 7th, Aizen in 8th. So Dark overtaking Aizen, I believe, off of penalties. Joseph Cozy in 9th, Hartman rounding out the top 10. Chill Mo is going to come in 11th as Captain Blade gets that 12th position, being a lap down, as Chill Mo just now crossing the line to end off race 1. And that was a great race here for race 1. Gives us an idea of what we can look out for. But you don't want to go anywhere, as Carter, you see there on your screen, getting driver of the day as voted by the fans here at the Belgian Grand Prix. But as I was saying, you don't want to go anywhere, everyone, because we've got another race for you. A 5-lap reverse grid order sprint. And that is going to be exciting, especially going into turn 1, going into Eau Rouge for this 5-lap sprint, and I'm excited to see how it's all going to play out. But for now, we're enjoying the podium celebration. The double Michael Schumacher once again on the podium. And
Dark in the chat saying, "Oh boy, Hartman, I was like 1 inch close to ruining both of our races." And we saw that one. Woo!
Yeah.
At least he was man enough to admit that he made a mistake there.
Oh yeah, well that's I mean, it's all especially when nothing bad happens. You know, it ends up being all in good fun and something that you can kind of look back and laugh about after the fact. But there we go. It is Gerbman getting the victory, Josh in 2nd. I think I took us through the order already. Carter in 3rd, Knight in 4th, Sophion in 5th, Izat Kush in 6th, Dark in 7th, Aizen in 8th, Joseph Cozy in 9th, Hartman in 10th, Chill Mo in 11th, and Captain Blade in 12th. But we do have, we'll flip the grid from on its head, from head to toe to head, and we will jump into the second race in just a few moments once we get all of that sorted out and the drivers get the cue to kick things off. But my, that was still an exciting first race. Had a decent amount of action, I gotta say, for the for Formula Fridays, but Formula Fridays always comes with a whole bunch of action, if I'm being completely honest. Never a dull moment, and race 1 here at Belgium is no exception to that rule. So Sunik, I'll let you handle the grid order. I'm gonna take just a few seconds, take a sip of water after that before jumping back here in the stream to keep everybody company.
That was actually pretty fun. I should expect more of the same here. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a, let's just say, impatience to get from the back to the front as fast as possible, especially for guys like Gurman, Josh, Carter. You know what? Carter has had a fantastic string of results here in Formula Fridays. Not to take anything away from what he's getting done on Sundays, but like he's actually getting it done a lot on Fridays. I'm not sure if it's the ease, the no pressure. There's nothing really to gain. It's for fun, but I mean, he's been getting the results. I want to say this like his third, podium so far in the past as many weeks. He's been on a tear.
He really has. If I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with you 100%. He's been on that tear. He's really been pumping out these results here in Formula Fridays, and it's another solid result for Carter here on race 1. And he gets to benefit from the podium. And I'll be honest, especially after Baku with that second race, that he was looking oh so poised to nearly take the victory if it wasn't for the I'll call it the incident on the on that final lap. It would have been an even stronger result, but I think he's using that as determination, using that as motivation to really come out here and prove that he belongs here racing with the best of them on Formula Fridays. And I hope this can relate to another strong race 2 from Carter and give him that confidence he needs to come out on Sunday and get a really strong result in the Division 1 race once he gets back into that Mercedes seat. But taking a look here, I figure the grid is probably nearly up and ready to go so we can jump into race 2. But we'll have to see how it all plays out. Like you said, it'll be curious to see how Gernman, Josh, Carter, Knights, I mean all these drivers starting from the back of the grid, how they can handle this reverse grid. And they're going to have a lot of cars to overtake, not much time to do it. And if I'm being completely honest, this is, I mean, words are difficult for me, but here we go. Let's try again. The Belgian Grand Prix, this circuit here in Spa is, it's a very one-of-a-kind circuit. I know some other circuits you like to see drivers really making a lunge into turn 1, just get a whole bunch of these overtakes from the back of the grid done in the span of a corner, but you can't really do that at Spa without really risking that incident with some of the other drivers. And even if you do try, well, you can really only go side by side for so long, because then you've got probably one of the most challenging portions of the circuit to do side by side, Eau Rouge, immediately afterwards, where one mistake by yourself or another driver can lead to very serious consequences, and that's not something you want to have happen, whether it be a 5-lap sprint, a 50% race, or anything in between. So I'm really excited to see how this is all going to play out once we jump into the second race here, which is hopefully going to be in a few moments once we get the grid all sorted. I'm seeing a few drivers hitting that ready up button, but we don't have the cue, I don't think, just yet from the grid setter to kick things off, but we should get it in just a few moments. Oh, I see what the delay is. I think we lost a driver in the process. As we're just gonna have to wait for that driver to jump back in to the lobby so we can jump in on the second race. If he's looking to get back in. Does not appear to be the case. So we've got the queue to go. Just gotta wait for the rest of the drivers to pop that button so we can jump into race 2. And everybody take a breather if you're watching at home. I know I will be here in the commentator's booth, because once the race starts, once we load in, there is not going to be much time for breathing, as we'll all be at the edge of our seats, itching to see what is going to happen and how this is all going to play out.
I just explains a little bit what's going on.
Yeah,
Discord banter.
Yeah, the
You know what I
Discord.
mean, bud.
Oh yeah, keeping an eye out on that.
Are
And
you seeing what I'm seeing?
yep, I'm seeing what you're seeing
Alright.
there, and I think those track limit
Sir,
penalties
it
are.
are. Sir, it are.
Yep, I think maybe those track limit penalties are kind of maybe explaining themselves a little bit more now. Seeing the track double or in force can make it difficult to keep it out on track. It's all in good fun here in Formula Fridays.
It's Formula Fridays, baby. We're headed into the weekend. Let's have some fun. Well, I guess for these European guys such as Josh Gurman, even though pretty much everybody besides me, you, Knight, Cozy, Carter, Captain Blade, it's already Saturday, so... Oh, do we get rain?
Oh no, it doesn't look like it's rain. It looks like as if it is going to be a cloudy session, but I'm gonna say it now before somebody readies up. Might be too little too late. Don't forget your setups. Especially here at Spa on a preset 3, you're gonna have a bad time, and you're gonna have a bad time having a bad time. So get those setups on, and make sure, just make sure you got that ready. Captain Blade,
Captain Blade's confident.
Yep, he's confident.
Josh.
And looks though everybody else saw that timer. They're getting ready to go, putting that pressure on. So we'll see how this
Blade
all
feels right now. Sitting P1.
Setting P1, probably feeling like the most confident driver on the grid or the least confident driver on the grid. We'll find out in just a few moments, in about 4 seconds or less now, as Carter was the last to hit that ready up button. Hopefully we've got all that sorted out, but here we go. Race 2, up to 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights, and we're off to kick off the second race as Captain Blade and Hartman and the rest of the grid charge down into turn 1. Looks as though we are able to stay relatively steady here into turn 1, nothing going too crazy, some drivers going wide. Sophion and Knight battling it out, and oh my goodness, look at this battle here near the back of the grid. Oh no, who was that? That was Isat Kush again on Eau Rouge for the second race in a row, taking a spin early on, and
No damage.
Oh, no damage, thankfully. So just a few really warm tires. But back here it is Captain Blade and Joseph Cozy going side by side through into this corner. They touch wheels. And who's going to get the position? It looks as if it is going to be Joseph Cozy taking the lead of this race. Captain Blade down into second, but right behind we got another battle is Hartman and Aizen going side by side. And right behind them you've got Dark trying to get a move on. Uh-oh, I heard that. Oh no, that's Carter with no front wing as he takes a tumble right around, I think, where Izat Kush, or no, was that Izat Kush in race 1? No, I don't think that was. Somebody took a tumble there. Captain Blade, thank you. Dark falling down the order, as I didn't quite get to see what happened there. Aizen losing out on a few positions, as Knight and Gernman already up into 3rd and 4th, respectively, having a very clean drive in these early sessions. Sorry, what was that? Aizen having wing damage?
Sophion's taking on some wing damage on the front left.
Oh no, that's definitely going to hinder, and I think Aizen does have wing damage too, and he's going to dive into the pits here at the end of lap 1. So a little bit of calamity here to start race 2, but what else can you expect here with this 5-lap sprint that delivers exactly what we were expecting and then some? But crucially, after the first lap, up into 3rd is Gernman, up into 4th is Knight, and Josh too up into 5th. So a lot of these drivers starting from the back did make those gains they needed to, and now can potentially use these next 4 laps to push. And who was that? Gernman and Knight, I think, were having a little bit of a battle, stuck behind Hartman, maybe trying to break the break the slipstream.
You'll get it.
I'm trying here, everyone.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be completely biased here. I'm used to seeing these guys win, but my Division 3 guys, your Division 3 guys, get going. These guys are on the podium, and they got these... Oh, the fast dudes are closing in so much. You just want to see Cozy. You want to see Hartman up there battling each other and for a podium spot, no less. And I don't want to be biased, but go. Like, go. You guys can do it.
Yep, but it's going to be a long 4 laps to
Yes.
try to battle it out, especially if you're in that seat of Hartman right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's looking in his mirror and he's got a lot of fast drivers that he's looking to keep behind, and this is where we might see these overtakes happen. Already seeing one, Josh 2 overtaking Knight, so these two fast cars battling amongst each other, giving Hartman a little bit of a gift, and Josh 2 going very hot into the bus stop chicane, trying down the outside there. That wasn't going to work at all. But now as Knight tried to get that position back from Josh 2, but that's not happening, and that's a little bit of contact
Josh
there.
Moves Hartman out of the way.
Yeah.
Look at the momentum Hartman has coming. I mean, he had a half spin, but then just came right back at Knight, but chooses to not go side by side through Eau Rouge and Radeon.
That's probably a very good call, as that 95% of the time that ends very, very poorly. I can speak out of experience that is probably a very accurate number, even maybe ballparking a little bit low with that percentage, as I'll be honest, personally I've only done it once, and that was side by side with Knight, funny enough, in a race that honestly didn't count for anything. But we did it nonetheless.
I've done it in a league versus league race, and I'll tell you,
you're definitely.
I didn't come out on the other side. On the good.
Oh no! And even if you do, you're clenching the wheel that much harder, along with you're clenching the cheeks as well, very hard as you're doing that, and just.
You can make a diamond.
Yeah, hoping you got the trust in the car, the handle of the car, but also the trust in other drivers. But back here to the racing action. Enough about clenching cheeks. Or I guess speaking of clenching cheeks, Joseph Cozy leading the race has Gernman half a second behind as they're coming into the bus stop chicane. This is going to be a nice battle here for the lead, and I think Cozy really going to be trying to prove his pace here around Spa and make a name for himself. He's also riding a strong finish here at the after last week in Baku in Division 3. But I think also low-key, not so low-key, looking, driving with a fire in his belly after what could have been. But here comes the move. They're going side by side, and it is going to be Gernman who gets the move done, switches back to the inside to break the toe, did Gernman. But it didn't matter all that much because the move was already done, and it is Gernman back in the lead of the race here on the penultimate lap of this 5-lap sprint. Now I want to jump over to another battle. We've got Aza and Sophion nearly going side by side through Eau Rouge behind the order. Sophion, I think, just got the move done as they were going down the hill, which is probably the safer portion of the area to get that move done. It's really when you're going up the hill that you're going to have a really bad time.
Oh, no!
And, oh, no. Joseph Cozy into the wall. If we ride on board with Captain Blade, what happened? May have clipped the inside curb there, trying to save it. He is back on track, but that's heartbreak for Cozy, as he was in for a good running, but now fallen down into 6th. But thankfully doesn't have any wing damage, so he can just continue on his way and doesn't have to struggle around and take a pit stop.
Oh my god! I was riding on board with Captain and he's lost the rear left. Oh no. I just randomly clicked on Captain Blade going down the order. He just carried way too much speed.
Ooh, watch out, Sophion and Aza. Oh, Aza almost getting into the back, and here comes Dark. And I think, yeah, hopefully by the time Carter comes around, that car is going to be out of the way. But you know what? Let's take a look at the onboard of Carter. Is he going to be expecting? Yes, he was expecting that, I think. Maybe saw the warning, but that got a little bit nerve-wracking for some of these drivers. Especially Azen, I think it was, who...
some of the commentators as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit worried for Azen, as it almost looked as though he was just about ready to drive right into that the remains of Captain Blade's F1 car, but just got out of the way at the last possible moment to not end his race in a similar manner. But Captain Blade, I think, clipping the just clipping maybe clipping that wall or just losing the back end on the that sweeping right hand turn on the entrance into Sector 3. You are trying to carry the maximum amount of exit speed because that sets you up for the very long, I guess the very long straight slash corner of Blanchement. And it is very, you do want to try to get it perfectly, but high risk, high reward, and it didn't work out for Captain Blade.
Now look at this. Izat, 2 races in a row, has an unfortunate spin. And this one I think is a little bit more impressive than the last due to the fact that he's had to spin on lap 1, managed to keep it out of the wall, and barring the penalties tonight, he's actually going to get a podium out of this.
It's looking like it, and I think, I'll be honest though with Izat, he is getting a podium for Izat Kush. Through all of that, I think he was a little bit, he did get a little bit lucky as well. A few spins, some pit stops that drivers had to take, getting caught up in incidents of their own. But taking that spin on lap 1 and 4 3/4 laps later ending up on a podium is no easy feat at all. So that's a very solid drive. And Hartman coming in 5th, nearly getting 4th, just 1/10 of a second off from Knight for that 4th position. But I'm sure Hartman's going to be happy with that P5 as well.
Ecstatic.
But there we go. That has been race 2, and we'll see a familiar face on the top step of the podium. It is the man who won race 1, the man on your screen right now, Gernman, who takes the victory of race 2, coming from the back of the grid and pulling off the reverse order victory from last to first. So what a drive from Gernman that was for race 2 as well. Got to give him at least a little bit of love for that, I would say. But we will take a look at the podium, and once again, 2 Michael Schumachers on the podium. The twins are back at it with, of course, Izat Kush in that pink suit in that 3rd position. But congratulations to the winners. Popping that champagne, really enjoying that podium, and you all deserved it.
That was fun to watch. That was jam-packed, everything happening. You got a feel for Cozy there, but I mean, 6th place, strong results, able to keep it all 4 wheels attached. So.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely a strong result for Cozy, and I'm sure he's probably kicking himself for what could have been, but must be happy with that P6 that he's got. So to take us through the order one last time, it is Gernman who takes the victory after starting in 11th, Josh in 2nd after starting in 10th, Izat Kush from 6th to last, back up into 3rd, Knight in 4th, Hartman in 5th, Cozy in 6th, Sophion in 7th, Azen in 8th, Dark in 9th, Carter in 10th, and Captain Blade in 11th after the accident he had on the penultimate lap. But my oh my, that was a solid race here for Formula Fridays. But as I've said before, what else can you expect here in Formula Fridays? These have been very exciting races all around, and this has been no different. But
a little preview for the weekend?
Oh, definitely a preview for the weekend, and I'm excited for the races that we've got on hand on Sunday. But before we wrap up the stream, Sunik, any closing words for everybody watching at home?
Stay in bounds at Belgium because she'll bite.
Yep,
That's I'm not saying that out loud just for myself, even though I'm going to take every bit of information that I saw here today. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting weekend. I'm pumped for this weekend's action. Everybody loves Spa. It's pretty much our halfway point in our season. So yeah, pretty stoked.
So am I, and I'll be honest, I love Spa as well. But you heard it here first. The Pro Strats with Asunik. Keep it in bounds and stay on the track. But that is going to do it here for us as far as Formula Fridays is concerned. But if you liked what you saw, excited for more racing action, don't worry, because we'll have tons more coming all day on Sunday. It'll start with Division 3 at 11 a.m. or sorry, noon Eastern Time. We've got a little bit of a time change with the time zones. Then Division 2 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, with Division 1 taking their crack at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So you're not going to want to miss that, because it's going to be very exciting. But as mentioned, this is going to wrap it up here for us here in Formula Fridays. On behalf of myself, Asunik, and everybody here at ISRL Esports, thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a fantastic evening.